Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Market cap 542 billion. Bitcoin sitting at about 11,000. Ethereum chilling over 1,000. Market's pretty much the same. We had some bumps. We had some nice steam. It decided to do something great. I actually decided to pull the trigger on Steam after rigorous research. I'll try to touch on that later in the episode. I want to touch on something else today. Lots of regulations coming for crypto, Bitcoin specifically, because Bitcoin's traded in a lot of exchanges that don't trade a lot of crypto. And it's the number one way these countries are transferring value when you're talking about, what they're trying to regulate. And plus, it's the easiest to regulate, right? It's not private. Everything's open. You have the fork Bitcoin private coming out. It's going to be a battle. 2018 is going to be a big clash. Regulations are coming, of course, right? But what I see happening when I put my tinfoil hat back on, what I see happening is, so governments, what's a government? Governments weren't really made by popularity, by democracy, continents, nations, right? Like governments and nations, they kind of just conquered, right? They kind of just killed the other guy and put him into submission and took over his land. That's what happened throughout all of history. And as much as the governments really love to have control. You can have good people in there and they use the control for good, but it only takes one bad seed. The government's a big place and there's a lot of them. What happened with the internet, right? The government, when the internet first came out, it was looked at just like cryptocurrencies. Oh, we're going to regulate this. We're going to shut this down. Everyone talking about the big foot, but then people realized that, hey man, you can't shut this down. It's the internet. And what did they do? They found a way to spy on everybody. Right. We still got a much greater deal of freedom, though, right? Because this is where so many people got sent to prison, all these old people after the internet came out, because these scandals, they realized that everything you do is going to be on the internet, especially if you're a public figure. And it really put the light where it was dark. And now everyone can communicate. People in nations that don't allow that shit can now communicate with the world and say, hey, what's going on over here? Look at what, and it's beautiful because this is what's happening with crypto. I believe Bitcoin can become that internet reserve. So whatever the internet of money, the backbone, the USD of the internet. That's what I see Bitcoin becoming. It's just so powerful. We have EOS, we have Ethereum, we have all these fast coins coming out, quote unquote fast, right? You can't see the quote unquote fast coins. Bitcoin has been out for 8-9 years, attacked every day from all angles, from not only hackers, but governments and politicians and rogue people, people who want to take it down, big hedge funds, people who, don't want to see, the bankers, people who don't have any, claim if Bitcoin comes up, they only are going to lose out a lot. It reminds me of Adelson, that fucking fat old guy who banned poker online because he owns a bunch of casinos because he figured it was going to wreck his casinos. It's the same thing people are trying to do with crypto. The only difference is, this is the one I look at that's very, very powerful. You could not invest in the internet. There was no internet token. You couldn't get a little piece of your internet, right? There wasn't no internet fucking tokens. Imagine if there were, how fucking rich you'd be, right? There were no internet tokens. It wasn't patented. It was let out just like Bitcoin was. The only difference with Bitcoin is you can own a piece of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's going to be this new internet of the backbone, the math problem, the clearance of the internet, in my opinion. It has a very great shot at doing that. And then everything else, right? So you have things like BitUSD. That's what gave me the concept. I think things are going to have like Bitcoin or something, right? Like you're going to have something that's like the Lightning Network, right? You're going to have these technologies that grow on top of Bitcoin and other platforms that are so much faster and so much more efficient. However, they still don't have the underlying security. That's all that really matters at the end of the day. Bitcoin could be a fucking rock. It could take a week to send. and $100 every time. It doesn't matter. It's the security. It can become a backbone, and then shit can be built on top of it. You know, Lightning Network's one small thing. Lightning Network is not going to do shit on EOS. Like, I don't care what anybody says. EOS is about to come out and fucking break the game. It's going to stunt on everything. All these people who are building on Ethereum are not computer programmers. They don't know. It doesn't make any sense. They like need 1,000 transactions a second and they're building on Ethereum. Like, for what? Either A, because they wanted to raise money in an ICO and they're hoping that one day Ethereum's allowed to do that. But it doesn't right now. Who builds a multi-million-dollar business on a whim? On a, well, I hope it works out. I hope Ethereum scales. Like, that doesn't make any sense. This is why we're in a bubble. It's what people understand. You got to look at the fucking future, guys. You can't just live in the fucking now. Ethereum has 25 transactions a second. And we have kitties clogging the network. Imagine 1,000 businesses on this thing. It's not going to happen. EOS is going to come out. It's going if it works, right? I haven't been to the future. I haven't seen EOS work. I can't act like it's going to work. And I'm never going to be a fanboy and says, oh, it's 100% going to work. You never do that. Just like I never say, you know, something's 100% not going to work. That's why it's a risk, right? That's why EOS is $13. If it was out right now, doing 1 million transactions a second and things were being built on it, what do you think? You know, you could put a couple of digits in front of this 8 because that's where it would be. It'd be a top 5 coin. If not a top 2, why would Ethereum be above? You know, why is Ethereum above EOS if EOS scales, comes out with a platform where you can actually do it, things are being built on top of it? Why would Ethereum, you know? I mean, it's cool. It's nostalgic. First mover advantage. That's cool. Friendster was one of the first Facebook group or social medias, right? Friendster. Remember that one? And you had a thing called MySpace. Bitcoin, I don't think has that problem. I think the thing Bitcoin has that the others don't is 9 years of rigorous testing. And by the time EOS gets 9 years of rigorous testing, Bitcoin's going to have fucking 20. And with security, it doesn't matter. Security is, you'll take every little inch. You know, 20 years of rigorous testing's a lot more than 9. And if you're talking about the backbone, the security, the thing that cannot break, that's what Bitcoin's going to be, in my opinion. I don't see anyone taking that away. But Ethereum, all these other ones are up for grab. Ethereum, up for grab. So I just really look at it like you can't have a monopoly in crypto because no one owns it. Just like you couldn't have a monopoly of the internet. Like the internet's not a monopoly, right? Because no one owns it. Everyone uses it. Everyone's inside it, using it, building on top of it. Same thing with crypto. You can have these, EOS can become a massive monopoly. BitShares become a massive monopoly, and it's not illegal. It's just like, just got to relate it to the internet because everyone has an equal chance to build on top of it. Just like you can build a website on the internet, you can build apps on EOS. Just a new platform. And these new powerhouses, they're new internets. How revolutionary the internet was. Everything else that was built after that were just little apps on the internet. We've never actually had a new internet. Everything should be a blockchain. Steemit is not a website. Steemit is a API. You're looking at the blockchain through a fancy API. That's what the future is. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And yeah, I think you're going to have multiple blockchains, but I think there's going to be there's going to be a very few of these big ones that rule the world. EOS, Neo. I think Bitcoin Cash are going to just duke it out. It's very tough. It's very murky, the future. But one of them, I think no matter what, this one right here, this one is going to be the backbone. This one might be used more as a payment processor, but I do see us getting to a Lightning Network-esque payment system where everything's going to be a lot faster. I'm not sure if the Lightning Network's going to work, right? So I'm not, you can believe as much as in the Lightning Network as you can in EOS because they're both very primitive, right? People are building dApps, right? People are building stuff on EOS right now. There's some test beta, right? It's not live. There's no, and the same with Lightning Network. People are sending Lightning Network transactions, but people are losing money and stuff like the devs, like it's still under testing. So very interesting things coming out. Everyone's with the market right now. I'm looking around. Everyone's got their charts out. Everyone's drawing their triangles, trying to predict this thing. Like I said, man, I'm not talented with this shit at all. I am very literal. When I played Madden, I went goal line and I would audible to a 5 wide out. That just means I was very polarizing. I'm ham and cheese. I'm getting a deal. I'm buying the dips. I'm very good at buying the dips. It's what it's about. Adjusting the lures. I have lures out everywhere on most exchanges right now. Adjusting them all day, right? That takes time. Just have the tabs open and you just adjust. Just keep adjusting. You see the market going a little lower, maybe you adjust. Throw a spear if you're having, it's as long as I'm getting a good deal. It's hard to lose when you find a coin, you research the hell out of it. You kind of have a feeling of what the price should be. The less liquid the coin is, the better a deal you can get, right? People will dump. And that's where I mean, growing up, when I was young in the game, a few months, 5-6 months ago, you'd have a little piece of bacon down here. Someone's hungry. They would dump 50% and then it would automatically rebound. You just instantly made 50%. Those opportunities are still all around. You got to go get them. But it's nothing magical. I'm definitely the, old school Steelers, old school Cowboys. If you're talking about how I run my offense in crypto, I'm not the Patriots, not at all. There's a lot of people out there that are, though. Hallelujah to them. Whatever puts the points on the board is what I say. Coming up, it's funny. Somebody tried to make me FOMO. They tried to make me FOMO on a project outside of crypto, and I was like, man, you know who I am? I was like, I give away gains for meditation. It's a Zen technique. You can't FOMO somebody who gives it away just because, like, I'm a sick person. I'll look at something, I'll know it'll go up, and I'll give it away. Meaning I won't pounce on it just for a Zen reason, just to prove that it's not I'm not desperate. I don't need that. I can throw fish back. I don't need to hoard. I'm not greedy. It's not desperation. It's very, very important to have that kind of mindset, man. You have to get into that fucking mindset. You can't be like Golem. Oh, my precious. You can't be like that, man. You gotta fucking, it consumes you. You have to be able to let gains go. Another person says, man, how do you focus when there's so many coins going off? How do you, all the different exchanges, all the different coins? And I equated that to, when you're fishing, a great fisherman, how is a great fisherman distracted by all the fish in all the oceans? He's not, right? When you go fishing, you see a lot of fish, you're not freaking out like you're missing out on this fish. No, you find a good spot, aka a good crypto, right? You set some good bait, aka some good research so you know what's going on, and you wait and you snipe. That's all it's about. It's not about focusing on all this. It doesn't matter. There's 1,600 coins now. It doesn't matter. It's about finding a coin that you like and getting intimate with it and blocking out all the other noise. That's where the Zen comes in. You're going to miss out on some 10x ICOs, guys. You're going to miss out on some 100x gains. It's going to happen. The sooner you realize that, the better you can focus and start making yourself a foundation. I always found a foundation that I can believe in. I get something that's the core of my portfolio, something like a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Neo, EOS, something that, has a multi-billions behind it, countries behind it. And then I expand from there and I get into my coins that I believe, I believe in. I like the concept. It's enjoyable, has potential because it's a very small cap coin. It's about growing out though. It's not about, too many people are like, oh, what about Tron? What about this and that? It's like, man, I ain't never pay fucking Tron no mind. I'm not hating on Tron at all, but I never even had to do any research. I'm on, it's like, I don't mind throwing that fish back. I don't care if Tron goes to fucking $5 and just kills everything. I don't give a fuck. Zen moves when I see things like that. Same with VeChain. I'm not going to get VeChain. I believe in it though. But yeah, this one's already going long. What am I doing? I am just setting lures. I'm definitely getting the lures out now. Aggressively setting them across all the coins I like. I believe we're going to be into some choppy waters if people are going to announce these regulations. Just remember, guys, they tried to regulate the internet. Here you are listening to me. Just like in 5 years, I'm going to send you a Bitcoin if I fucking damn well please. Cheers. Peace.